Hello. Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel tov. Shh, don't tell anyone it's your bat mitzvah. Shh, it's a secret.
Zara G, Zara G, Zara G, Zara G, Zara G, Zara G, bat mitzvah girl. Zara G, Zara G.
All right. Well, we're going to get going. As long as the Ruach's going like that, we might as well keep it going, right? So we, knowing it's coming into a holiday weekend, sort of. Next weekend will be even more interesting, I think. Some people may be on the ski slopes at that point. You bring those shoes, I think, with you. Don't you think? Yeah? Okay, so you're going to help us out in Mariv a little bit, right? Is that the plan with Shema and B'Ahavta?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So
She is so there.
All right. So we'll let you sit with your family for just the beginning, and then after the Devar Torah, we'll get you up, okay? So you can have a little bit of rest time, because you're going to be helping out a lot more tomorrow. We're going to be standing and moving and teaching and all that, reading and all that stuff, so it'll be very exciting. All right. So, Cantor, if you want to, you were already giving us some lovely things to get started with. I don't know if you want one more, or we can move actually straight right to our Shalom Aleichem. Ooh, that's the wrong one.
That one here.
Someone keeps walking away with my. Someone keeps walking away with my. Here, I want to take it for a second. So we turn to page 5. There you will find Shalom Aleichem, our hymn that welcomes in Shabbat, normally with ministering angels.
Ken Malachi Hashari Malachi Elyon Mi Melech Malachi Hamlochi Makadosh Baruch Hu Boachem Shalom Malachi Hashalom Malachi Elyon Mi Melech Malachi Hamlochi Makadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hu Mile Shalom Malachi Hashalom Malachi Elyon Mi Melech Malachi Hamlochi Makadosh Baruch Hu Say Shalom Malachi Hashalom Malachi Elyon Mi Melech Malachi Hamlochi Makadosh Baruch Hu. Together, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la. La 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 la. Wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. Wave to your neighbor. Say good Shabbos.
You'll turn to page 4. Page 4, we rise as we join together in the bracha for the candle lighting for Shabbat. You see the candles were lit a little earlier since sundown is now very early with the time change. But we have the opportunity to do the bracha together, so page 4.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat.
You're welcome to be seated. We turn to page 11. There you'll find the formal beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat as the cantor leads us.
Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, neranina, lechu neranina. Lechuneranina l'Adonai Naria l'tzur yishenu kadmafana betoda Naria l'tzur yishenu bezmirot Naria lo Lechuneranina Lechuneranina l'Adonai Lechuneranina
You'll turn over to page 16. There you will find the words Or Zarua, La Tzaddik, 4 lines from the bottom in the Hebrew. Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. This hymn reminds us that it is our season of light, and we have the opportunity on Shabbat to kindle the lights, of course. We have Hanukkah coming up, And certainly we have the ability to bring light even in the darkness of the night. So page 16.
Or Zarua Atzadik Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Atzadik Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Atzadik Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Atzadik Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Hu Yishre Lev Simcha.
Nice. If you'll turn to page 21, we rise as we join together in Mizmor LeDavid, our hymn that reminds us God's voice is with us wherever we are. We listen to that still small voice. Page 21, we rise.
Havul Adonai, Havul Adonai, B'nei Elim, Havul Adonai, Kavod Va'oz, Havul Adonai, Kavod Shemo, Yishtach Havul Adonai, Behadrat Kodesh, Kol Adonai, Al Hamayim, El Kavod Hirim, Adonai, Al Mayim Rabim, Adonai, Al Mayim Rabim, Kol Adonai, Ba'koach, Kol Adonai, Behadar, Kol Adonai, Shover Arazim, Adonai, Tarzei Halvanon, Bar Yakidem, Kemo Ekel, Levanon V'Sirion, Levanon V'Sirion, Kemo V'Reimim, Kol Adonai, Chotef Lavotesh, Kol Adonai, Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai, Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai, Yecholel Ayalot, Vayechesov Yeharot, Uvehechalo, Kulo Omer Kavod, Kulo Omer Kavod. Adonai Lamabul Yahashav, Vayeshev Adonai, Melech Leolam, Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitein, Adonai Yevarech et Amo V'Shalom.
If you'll turn to, you're certainly welcome to be seated. If you'll turn to page 23, though, you'll find Chadodi, or to welcome in the Shabbat bride or queen to our midst. We'll do the first two verses and then the last two verses over on page 25. And when we get to that last verse, I'll give you the signal as we rise and we face the door again, as the mystics did and do, to welcome in Shabbat. So page 23.
B'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likerat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela shamor v'zachor divor echad Ishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad Shemu Tiferet Velitila Adodi Likerat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Adodi Likerat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Likerat Shabbat Lechu V'necha Ki Mekor Abraha merosh mikedem nesicha Sof maaseh b'mashvat echila lecha dodi Likerat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela lecha dodi Likerat kala b'nei Shabbat נקבלה ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תעריצי על יד איש בין פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ותהילה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה.
Are welcome to be seated. Page 27, you'll find Mizmor Shir, the Psalm for Shabbat. We join together.
Yalla la la yalla la 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 yalla la 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 yalla la la yalla la 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 yalla la 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 Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat tov l'Adonai Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat tov l'Adonai Uzamer l'shimcha elyon להגיד בבוקר חסדך ולזמר לשמך אלון להגיד בבוקר חסדך מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני.
You'll find the conclusion of the psalm, page 28, Sadiq Katamar by the small red arrow.
Sadiq Katamar yifrach ke'erez b'levanon yizkeh שתויים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו ינובון בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולתו
Those reciting Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish, you'll find it over on page 30. Again, those who are reciting Mourner's Kaddish, you're welcome to rise and join with me. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma, Divrach, Yirutei, V'yamlich, Malchutei. V'chayechon, Uvyomechon, Uvchaye, Dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, Uvizman, Kariv, V'imru. Amen. Yehe Shmei Rabbah, Mevarach, Le'olam, Olomei, Olmaya. Yit Barach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudisha, brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru, amen.
Amen.
Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. Just a few words of Torah this evening. So this Shabbat, as Zara knows very well, we study the continuing saga of Jacob. Okay? And you might remember that Jacob, this is looking back at our parsha from the last couple of weeks, Jacob tricked his father and received the firstborn blessing meant for his brother Esau. And as such, was forced to run away from his home in order to avoid the anger of Esau. And now it's been about 20 years since Jacob ran away, and during this time he has acquired great wealth. He married 2 women and has now numerous children. So Jacob decides it's time to return home. And he now returns home, perhaps wondering what will happen when he meets up with his brother again. And Jacob is fearful that Esau has not forgiven him and still wishes to kill him. Now, that's the setup. Of course, as Jacob now, as we pick up our text this week, Jacob's approaching the border, and he sends out scouts who are looking ahead of him and his family, and asking them to return a report of what Esau is doing. And so they come and say, hey, Esau's approaching, and there are 400 men with him. So Jacob divides his family and his possessions into 2 camps, so that if Esau decides to attack, right? This is smart military thinking, I suppose, right? That at least part of his family could be spared. It's a shame he has to think that way, but that's where he's at. So he then sends everyone ahead, remaining alone as the family crosses the river and enters the promised land. Now, what happens during this time alone? We're told that he struggles with a mysterious man, understood by tradition to be either an angel or Jacob's own inner self. But the rabbis of the Talmud were bothered by the fact that Jacob remained behind. He sent everyone ahead, and he remained behind. Why did he send his family ahead? That rabbis ask. Why didn't he go with them? And the rabbis answer with a very creative midrash cited by the medieval commentator Rashi later on. He says Jacob initially did move forward with his family, but he went back. Now, why? Why would you go back? If you're getting on a trip and you're walking out the door and you shut the door, why would you go back? Oops, I forgot something, right? Or I didn't turn the lights off, or I forgot to make sure the refrigerator was closed, or something like that, right? Well, the Midrash tells us, Shachach pakim ketanim v'chazar alehem. He had forgotten some small jars and returned for them. So he forgot the keys to his car, he forgot something he wanted to bring with them, he forgot these small jars. So, of course, the question is, what was so important about some small jars that he had to leave his family and go back, especially at a time when there was such danger being perceived ahead of them? So some commentators tell us that it was a matter of weakness, perhaps, that Jacob, having acquired great wealth, he placed a priority on possessions. So these small jars were worth something, and I don't want to leave them behind, so I'm going to go back and get them. It doesn't really float, because you would figure he would send somebody else to go back and get a bunch of jars, right? He just couldn't bear to leave anything behind, is the message. Now, some Talmudic sages ask us not to take the Midrash so literally. So don't think about it as literally he's walking back and he's going to go get some jars. Keeping in mind that every Hebrew letter has a specific numerical value, the sages point out that the value of the letters in the Hebrew words pakim, ketanim, small jars, equals the value of the word satan. Yes, that's that Satan we're talking about, Satan, right? But in Hebrew, in Jewish circles, it's a little different, right? Satan for us is not the devil. It is the one who tempts us to go astray. That's how we understand the Satan, and we use that word, right? Satan in our tradition is something that sends us in the wrong direction, tempts us to go astray from where we need to be. And since the two add up to the same number numerically in the Hebrew, the two may be substituted for one another, the rabbis argue. So according to this interpretation, and again, keep in mind that Satan is not implying evil, it's implying distraction from our intended path, Jacob finds himself distracted by the little things, by these small jars. And just as we all tend to be pulled away from the broad picture when we focus only upon the little small details, so too Jacob finds himself pulled away from the larger issue of being with and protecting his family. It's kind of a cool way to look at the text, cool way to see the Midrash in particular. So now how can these small jars take us away from what's truly important? Well, think about it. Happens all the time, actually, and I think you could probably ask any bar or bat mitzvah family. So we asked the Ginsburg family today. They probably could agree, because as I know they prepared for this special weekend, there's a lot of details, right? A lot of things to figure out. Kiddush lunch. What's Kiddush lunch going to be? What's the menu for tomorrow, right? What clothes are we wearing? Hey, Zara, what shoes are we going to wear, right? And are they going to be comfortable enough to stand on the beam all day tomorrow, right? Did we get the names right for the Aliyah list of those participating? Are we picking up people from the airport, right? All of those fun things that we know goes into the planning of a bar bat mitzvah, making sure that we have taken care of our family and our friends who are coming to celebrate with us. And so, of course, don't forget about the things that Zara herself has been focusing on, which is, we've talked about where you're going to be standing, what prayers you're helping out with, finishing a beautiful Devar Torah, by the way, come tomorrow, because you will hear a gorgeous Devar Torah. Wonderful teaching she's going to do for us tomorrow. And certainly chanting a Haftarah. So we've discussed, what verses, where are you going to be, how are you going to do it? The list goes on and on for our students. So there's no doubt that the minutia, the small details are important, but we can't allow ourselves to focus only upon picking up those small jars without acknowledging the whole vision we hope to fulfill that's behind them. So again, I know the Ginsburg family knows, as do all of our other B'nai Mitzvah throughout the years, we hope, that a bat mitzvah is much more than invitations and menus and flowers, which are gorgeous, by the way. And Zara knows, as do our other B'nai Mitzvah, I hope, that this special Shabbat is much more than presents and thank you notes, and even the individual prayers that you've been asked to do. They're merely the small jars, and while they're important, celebrating life and Jewish responsibility, mitzvah, family and community, that's what helps make up the larger picture. So as we celebrate this Shabbat together, and we celebrate with Zara and her family, keep in mind this story, this midrashic story of Jacob and the midrash of these small jars. And as we prepare to celebrate both Thanksgiving next week and then begin Hanukkah on its heels, a holiday whose message is often associated with a small jar, right? A small jar of oil. Consider the midrash of the jars and think about it as teaching us not to be distracted by the small details so that we end up losing the overall meaning and the vision of who we are and what we need to be doing and where we need to be. So think about that as we go forward into this special Shabbat and this special weekend with the Ginsburg family, and as we gather as families, many of you I know heading out of town or expecting people to come into town, and you have all the details. Do I have the turkey? Do I have the stuffing? Do I have the ingredients? What am I doing? When are we having? Who are we having? As we look at all those small details, don't forget to think about the larger vision and message of, again, this Shabbat and every Shabbat that we're so fortunate to celebrate. Keep that in mind, and to that I will say, Shabbat Shalom and Amen. We're going to go forward as we ask Zara to come on up, actually. She's going to help out a little bit with the Shema and the V'ahavta, some of our parts of our evening service as we welcome in this new day of life together, and we formally begin her Shabbat of celebration for her and her family. We turn to page 39a, and we rise for the Baruch Hu as we join in celebration together. 39a.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Vorach Leolam Voed.
You may be seated. We're in the middle of 39a. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uve laila. Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam. Tamid yimloch aleinu leolam avad. Baruch atah Adonai. Amariv Faravi.
Page 40.
V'ahavadcha al tasir mimenu yolamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levacha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher Anochi metzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinatam levanecha, v'dibarta b'am, v'shivtecha b'beitecha, uvlektecha b'derech, uv'shotchecha uv'kumecha, uv'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha, uv'ktabtam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'yisharecha.
We read in the English together on the left side on page 41. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. We continue over on page 44, Mi Chamocha. You'll find the words right in the middle of the top paragraph in the Hebrew, in the dark, in the bold letters. Mi Chamocha are words of celebration as we crossed the Red Sea and came from slavery to freedom. Middle of 44.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora, nora, nora tehilot, o sefele. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora, nora, nora tehilot, o sefele. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Zeli, zeli, anu v'yameru. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Zeli, zeli, anu v'yameru. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora, nora, nora tehilot, o sefele. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora, nora, nora tehilot, o sefele, o sefele, o sefele.
We turn over to page 45. There you'll find, if you look on the left side of the page, you'll find the English, our second blessing after the Shema, our bracha for peace in the evening. This is our lullaby, if you will, as we go to sleep at night and awaken, hopefully, to a brighter and more beautiful day. We join together in the English on 45. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us, and you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Amen. We're on 45 on the right.
Bottom 3 lines. Ufros aleinu sukkot sukkot shlomecha. Together. Ufros aleinu sukkot sukkot shlomecha. Yalai lalai yalai lalai yalai lalai 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 yalai lalai yalai lalai yalai lalai 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 Veros aleinu sukkot sukkot shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
We rise as we turn to page 46. You'll find the singing of Vishamru, reminding us that Shabbat is a lasting sign of the covenant throughout all the generations, all of Israel, the Shabbat being that sign of covenant between us and God. Page 46, we join together.
Shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפל.
Chatzi Kaddish, the middle of 46.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, וילמד דברי אחדותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן כהריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך מעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmei kodisha, v'yela minko bechata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, tamihiran be'alma, ve'yimeru. Amen.
Find the Amidah for this evening, beginning on pages 47 through 52. Feel free to add your own personal thoughts and meditations to the words on the page, and when you're through with the silent Amidah, you are welcome to be seated.
Oh, say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'yimru amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We're taught to add our own personal thoughts and meditations to the words on the page, and one way we do this as a congregation is to add our Mishaberach for healing, our extra prayer for healing and for hope of spiritual, physical, and emotional healing. So you'll turn to page 173 on the far left. You'll find our Debbie Friedman Mishaberach prayer as we join in singing together. 173.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor Habracha Limotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Imotenu Mikor Abraham Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We turn back to page 54. There you'll find Kaddish Shalem. 54.
Mi'itgadal v'yitgadash me'rabah B'elamat divrei chilutei v'amlich malchutei B'chayechonu v'yochonu v'chaydecho Beit Yisrael b'gala v'zman kariv v'yimeruhu Amen Yehi shmei Rabbam mevorach L'olam ulal me'amaya Yitbarach, v'yishtabach v'poar v'yitromam v'yitnosei v'yitadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei l'kudishah v'yeila bin kobechav v'yishatav tushbechav v'yamatav d'amiram d'alma v'yimeru Yitkabel tulao tunavol tunucho Yisrael kodam avuhun v'shemaya v'yimeru Yehei shlomo rabbi mishemaya v'chayim aleinu al kol Yisrael v'yimeru Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru Amen.
You'll turn to page 55 and rise. There you'll find our kiddush for this evening as we take a cup of grape juice or wine, some sweetness as we toast this wonderful Shabbat, this Shabbat of celebration for Zara and her family, and this Shabbat of Thanksgiving, coming into a week of Thanksgiving as we join together. Top of 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kirishanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uv'ratzon hilhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikroei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava uv'ratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
We remain standing as we turn to page 56 for Aleinu. As Zara comes up to help.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol Latei gedula leotzer breshit Shelo asanu kigoye ha'aratzot Velo samanu kimishpechot ha'adama Shelo sam chelkenu kohem Vekor aleinu kichol hamonam V'anachnu korim Umishtachavim umodim לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, מושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד,
You're welcome to be seated. Page 58, you'll find Kaddish Tome, the mourner's Kaddish. And as we recite Kaddish tonight, we extend our condolences to the families on the loss of David Cohen, son of Sylvia Cohen, and brother Jeff Cohen. Some people have asked, I know we got the announcement out when we heard about it. They have been in New Jersey, or at least Jeff is in New Jersey and sitting Shiva up there. So I know that they would probably appreciate your words of support, and certainly upon returning to our community, to be again embracing them during this difficult time. We also mention the names of those who are going through Shloshim, which include David Present and Anita Reich, who is the sister of Esther Bornett and aunt of Jody Fries and Darren Bornett. So please keep them in your thoughts and in your hearts. And we pause as well to mention the names of those whose yortzites occur today and in the week that is coming. Stephen Cole, Peter Gresser, Celia Kalish, Doris Linver, Raquel Newman, Nathan Posner, Philip Heinz, Sterling Samuel Newman, Sam Wilk, Ben Cohen, Bessie Eisenberg, Sally Friedman, Jack Moss, Jacob Hirschman, Joan Stanley, Emmerich Adler, Hilmer Heibaum, Sidney Ozer, Charles Leroy Wood, Arthur Jaffe, Adrian Diamond Martin, Bella Melnick, Kimberly Ann Ratcliffe, and Sophie Shapiro. Those reciting Kaddish Tome, the mourner's Kaddish, you'll find it again on page 58. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah B'alma divrach yirutei b'amlich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'b'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam elomei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei dekudisha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom yimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May be seated. A few announcements, as we always have. Lots of things going on. As always, don't forget We have our service tomorrow morning at 9:15 in the morning, and Zara will be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah, and I mentioned earlier she'll be teaching us a little bit with a Devar Torah and chanting a Haftarah and helping us out on the Bima, and we're very thrilled that she's here with us for this wonderful occasion and allowing us to celebrate with her this special moment as she becomes a Jewish adult. So we extend our mazel tov to her and to her family, and I encourage you to show up tomorrow at 9:15 as we celebrate with her and her family. Also mention, of course, there's a number of different things going on. We have lots of Hanukkah events coming up, and we can give you a few of those highlights. As you're getting ready for Thanksgiving, you can join Can or Ken on Wednesday via Zoom at 6 p.m. You can explore some sacred music that can heal and comfort us as we move into this Thanksgiving holiday. Music with joy and blessing and gratitude in our lives. So if you'd like to join, you can call the office and get the Zoom link and start off your Thanksgiving holiday right with a little bit of study and some music. We also have a number of exciting things going on. Menorah lighting is coming up. That's a week from this Sunday at 5:30 at SeaWorld. Can or Ken is going to help us sing some fun Hanukkah songs.
Yes, Shamu will be joining us.
Shamu will be joining us. And you can enjoy the park all day with Shamu with a discount of some kind of discounted ticket. There's discounts are limited, but you can see your emails. There's been a link and ways to get in touch with that. So you can go into the San Antonio Jewish Federation's website for it. It's really a community event, and it's PJ Library related. And so you can join then. So keep that on your plate. If you're looking to do a little bit of latke making and you don't want to make it yourself or buy a box at the store, you can buy a whole bag here and you can pick it up in the office at least Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday while we're still open, and certainly at the backside of the holiday or the beginning of the holiday on Monday, your first full day of the holiday if you didn't get it before. So you can purchase a bag of latke mix, talk to Jessica in the office. We will have our own Agudas Hanukkah celebration in the Cabby Family Pavilion, December 1st. That's Wednesday at 5:30. You can join your Agudas family for the fourth night of Hanukkah with an evening filled with crafts, lighting the menorah, holiday trivia, and much more. We are being asked to bring an unwrapped gift to donate to the 8th grade Chesed booth. They're going to be collecting and then distributing gifts to those in need. And there is also a latkes and libations, the Moonlight Social Club, Thursday, December 2nd at 6 o'clock here in the social hall. You can celebrate the 5th night of Hanukkah with latkes and libations with music open to everyone in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. And my guess is if you really want to come and you're not quite 60, they'll probably let you in. So it's $18 a person, and you can talk to Jessica about that. And we will have our own Hanukkah Song Fest and Dance-a-thon planned for Saturday night, December 4th at 6:30. So after you've lit the candles through the week, you can come join us Saturday night. We'll have...
The choir's coming that night.
Yeah, I was going to say we're going to have Hanukkah songs. You can bring your dancing shoes. We'll have a choir here. Bring your menorah to light. It'll just be a fun time for all of us joined together. Have some snacks. I do believe, how can you have a party without any food, right? We'll have some snacks, and we'll just kind of celebrate the holiday together. We'll say goodbye to Shabbat, and we'll celebrate Hanukkah together. And then finally, hopefully you'll join me. If you didn't have enough of everything going on, you can join me on Sunday, December 5th at 6 o'clock in the Chavano Park City Hall. I'm going to be helping to light the menorah for the community there. They do that every year, and each night we kindle the lights, and I hope you'll join me on that Sunday evening, December 5th at 6, as we will light the lights together there. So lots going on. That's the highlight. And don't forget, of course, always weekday minyan, 7:30, Sundays at 9. But please note that minyan for Thanksgiving Day and for Friday, so this coming Thursday and Friday, will be at 9 o'clock. We'll let you sleep in a little bit, especially Friday after you've eaten all that turkey. No one's getting up out of bed that early at 7:30. So wait until 9 and come join us at 9 o'clock for minyan, and same with Thanksgiving Day. Come give some thanks for the gifts of life that we so enjoy by helping to make a minyan on those 2 days at 9. So just keep that in mind. I think we got just about everything you need to know and then some for the next little bit. And with that, we are going to conclude our service. Kenner, where am I going?
62.
60. Wonderful, little Yigdal. I like it. We'll go to page 62, where you will find our closing hymn of Yigdal. And thanks for being here to celebrate Shabbat with us. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow morning as well.
Elohim chai v'yishtabach nimtza v'yetzer metziuto echad v'yein yachid k'yichudo nelam v'gam etzof le'achduto ein lo demut haguf v'yeino guf lo na'aroch elav kedushato קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו הינו אדון עולם וכל נוצר יורה גדולתו ומלכותו שפע נבואתו נתנו אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו לא קם בישראל כמשה עוד ומהפית את אמונתו תורת אמת נתן להמוהל על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו לא יכל לפועל ולא ימיר דתו לעמים לזולתו צופה ויודע סיתרנו לסוף דבר בקדמתו אומר לאיש חסד מפעלו נותן לרשע רע כרשעתו ישלח לקיץ ימים משיחנו לפתור וחכה קץ ישועתו תהיה חייל ברוב חסדו ברוך תהיה עד שם תהילתו לעתים יחייל ברוב חסדו ברוך תהיה עד שם תהילתו.
We thank Derek for being in the back here, for being our usher, along with Phil. Thank you, as always, for helping to welcome people. And Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
And a happy Thanksgiving coming up.
See you tomorrow.
Guys.
Give those two little boys a big hug for me.
I will do it. Yeah, I'll put these back.
Anything for tomorrow I need to be aware of, or you'll give it to me in the morning? And
Oh, I have it in my office. I can give it to you.
that's okay. I'll see you tomorrow. The old standard affair.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't go. You said